Hello everyone, this is Izabela from the Dancing Wave, and today I would like to share with you how I repurposed a frame and put my own artwork into it. We're going to learn about how to remove the old backing, what can be hiding underneath the paper. I'm going to show you the tools and the little tips, how I've done it so that perhaps you can try it yourself. Here are the items that I used to repurpose the frame, to clean it, and to bring it back to a new life. We have scissors, a pencil, X-Acto knife, a masking tape, a specialty tape that is used for packing, glue stick, a bunch of tools, grabbing tools, whatever their names are, a scraper to remove old sticker, sponge, vinegar water, ruler, cardboard, and the cutting mat. It's a quiet morning today, and I'm gonna take advantage of that and frame some pictures. For sure, I'm gonna give this one a go, and I'm gonna share this process with you. 2 days ago, I got a hold of used picture frames that had artwork in them. They have artwork in them, and they were professionally framed, excellent quality frames, bought at the secondhand store for a very fair price. So I wanted to see if I can reuse them for my artwork, and I'm not really familiar with the process because the frames are a little bit more complicated, but I managed to disassemble one frame that I have here, and this is the frame, this is the backing. So let's dive into it. Here's the backing. It's literally just the foam board. So if I wanted, I could purchase a new foam board, but I'm gonna stick to that one since it's already here. And it was secured with a bunch of tape, and I actually have that tape. And here's how it was secured. There's a bunch of nails that I had lifted, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to put them back, but I'll try to hold that foam board in place. So right now I'm gonna cut a piece of paper. I got some cardstock, and this is the piece that will go inside. It's a rice paper painting. With all that complexity of the frame and the color of the frame, this very modest painting, I think will complement the composition very well. So when I saw that frame and that painting together, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna work very well. So we're gonna glue the rice paper onto the cardboard. I gotta cut the size for that frame, and then we're gonna put it in and see what happens. I'm just gonna show you what was inside the frame. I think it's called cross stitch. It's this beautiful artwork that somebody put a lot of time and energy into, and that was stitched into the board, right? Like you can see the stitching marks. So I removed all the stitches and I put it in the garbage, but I kept looking at, like it was looking at me from the garbage, almost like, no, please don't throw me out. So I couldn't really throw it out because out of respect for a person who did that, and clearly this piece had been very loved by the family. You can see that this is handmade. One of my mom's friends makes these, and it takes her months. So knowing that, I couldn't possibly discard it. And I'll show you how it was in the frame, like that. So it's a beautiful composition, and a family member or maybe a person who did that, but somebody spent a lot of money to frame this piece, and you can see how the frame corresponds to the cross stitch painting, like that green, that gold, all of those decisions, the colorific decisions were made to complement and take out the best, bring out the best out of this beautiful cross stitch in the frame itself. So it must have been cherished, it must have been valued by someone enough to, you know, to make this effort and create this beautiful framed piece. And because of that, I've decided to pay my respect to that person. And even though I don't want to keep this particular cross stitch for myself and display it, I'm gonna donate it to a second-hand store. Perhaps even go back to the one I got the frames from and ask them if they would like to resell this, because the owner gave me a really good deal on the frames, knowing that I'm gonna use them for my own artwork. He lowered the prices, so I wanna make sure this doesn't end up in a landfill. Maybe there is someone out there who would love to have that beautiful piece. Oh, like look at those stairs. Oh, there's just so much going on here. It's gorgeous. When I was at the store, I saw a little book that was calling to me, and I got that book as well at the second-hand store. It's called 1,000 Paths to Generosity, and it's different quotes on generosity from a variety of sources. So I'm gonna share the one that just opened when I was gonna read you the quote. If life hands you a lemon, hang on to it. You never know when you'll meet someone who has never seen a lemon before. The reason why I like this quote is because very often we have limited perception of our experiences, and we perceive something as negative as this lemon is, but actually from the experience, if we open up to it and accept the gift of an experience, we might later learn that it helped and enriched somebody else's life. So that lemon was a gift, like everything is, and that's why generosity is never ending. So after finishing my tea, I'm gonna get started on the framing process. So yummy. So actually a very good thing that I kept this, because now I'm gonna use this as a measurement of the size of the paper that I need. So once again, unrolling the cross stitch, and we're gonna make a mark here somewhere. Actually, I could even do this, and because this is definitely gonna be safe for me, and I want to keep it safe so that I have the extra. And now we're going to make a line, align this with the edge of the paper. So my method for measuring is I don't measure with numbers, I just measure with my eyes. And every time I try to think with numbers, I get confused, but this is much easier for me. So I'm using this ruler. It has a 90 degrees built into it angle, and I know that if I align it, it's always going to be straight 90 degrees. So now I can cut it. Luckily, I have all the things I need. There's a little X-Acto knife. Here's my quilting mat. So I'm using the quilting mat underneath to keep everything secure. Okay, and cut this part out. But my thing is that, like, as long as I have this painting right in the middle, it's gonna end up in the middle in the frame the way I want it. So the first problem is that I cannot really take out the pass part 2 from the frame without removing the nails. Like, it's pretty stuck there. So I'm gonna have to eyeball the location of the painting to be right in the center. I mean, this is my eyeballing method, holding this somewhere in the middle. I'm just checking if it really lands in the middle, and it does. Because I left extras, I'm leaving extras, I'll be able to center it once it's glued onto the paper. So I'm gonna try to glue it in here with just a regular glue stick, and I'm not gonna do like a full cover of the, actually let's see what I'm gonna do. So I glued it. Apparently I forgot to press the hyperlapse button, but here it is. We're gonna let it dry and see what happens with the creases. While this is drying, I'm gonna clean the frame on the inside as much as I can. And there's the stickers on the outside, so I'm gonna remove the stickers. I'm using vinegar water for the glass. First wet it and then I'm gonna go in. So I'm going around the passepartout. Can lift it a little bit. This frame has been completely closed off, so there was no dust particles or anything like that. But before we close it again, we want to make sure that it's wiped out and clean. So now this side, and here we have a little bit more work to do. Got the price stickers that didn't want to peel off, so we're gonna just wet it a little bit and then use this cool razor. It's coming nicely. Oh, it's very nice. I like this kind of a job. Oh yeah, it's off very nicely. Okay, now we can spray with our vinegar water and clean it nicely. It's got a little bit of dirt. Oh, this is so this is now nice and clean. If you have never washed windows, the trick to a clean window is like you gotta kind of look at it from a different perspective to check if there is smudges, because sometimes it looks like there is nothing, but then you look on the other side and trying to determine whether the smudges are inside or outside. If they're outside, it's not a problem because you can clean them later. But anything on the inside, I want to address it now before I put in my picture. And paper towel, years of someone who's been washing windows for years, is one of the best things to get rid of the smudges. Okay, let's do a test. Here is my painting. Right here. Okay. Somewhat in the middle and oh yeah. And now I'll locate the paper so it's precisely in the middle. Move it around. Use my eyes as a guide and hold it in place, in the place I want it to be. Covered something cool. When looking against the light, you can see very well the edge of the paper. So make sure that this is aligned with the passepartout, and that's when you can hold it and just slide it down. And where it lands, that's your spot. So have some tape handy and you can just secure it in the corners. Now secure the corners and we're gonna check how that looks like. I might need to actually like glue alongside, but let's see. Oh yeah, that's very nice. It's nice and even. So I didn't lift the nails on this side completely because I was able to just lift it, and actually I think it's this side. So I'm gonna try to slide it back in. Oh yeah. It's a bit tricky, but the idea is to slide it in there. And now we'll try to wiggle it in everywhere. Wiggle it back into the position. So let's see if I can get that done. So it came in with the help of this tool. I'm not sure what this is called. So I found it in my husband's tool set. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to push those nails back to hold the foam. They are actually not nails, they're staples. So I find that as long as I push it in a bit and maybe even like rotate it, those ones don't need to, this one needs to be rotated, then they stay. So what I want to achieve is that all of them will stay and don't move. Let's take a look at them. This one's sticking out a bit, so push it in and see how it wiggles. And then I want to make sure it doesn't wiggle. I push it in ever so slightly into the board, and that's it. I think we're good. Let's see how our painting looks like. Still looking good. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the tape. Yeah, before I go with the tape, I need a little bit of a break. It's my tea. I haven't finished it. That's what happens. The project gets exciting and then I wanna do it. But now, this was quite a bit of energy to put those staples in with those tools. I don't even know. In order to measure the tape, I'm just gonna cut up the pieces first to size. So I'm gonna do 2 pieces. And the shorter side. So this tape is activated by moisture. Just gonna do this. Just holding it in my hand. Rather practicality. So this is how the painting looks like now. I love it. There is this gentle energy coming out of this composition that really calms my mind when I'm looking at it, and I like how it turned out. This is the back. So now what's left is I have this painting came in with the hanging wire. which was attached in the horizontal orientation because of the cross stitch that was in it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make holes in about here so that the wire will kind of end before the frame, and that way I can hang it in the vertical position. So that's my next step. But for that, I'm gonna have to ask my husband for a drill, automatic drill. So he's gonna maybe, I think he took it with him, so I don't think we have it here right now. And when he comes home, I'll be able to do that, and then we can hang the painting. Let me know if you tried something like that, or if you would like to try it. Perhaps you have frames laying around, or maybe you'll find some on the side of the road or in the thrift store, and you'll have more confidence approaching the task of bringing them back to life. Very simple composition, exactly what I wanted. Thank you so much for watching.